Hello and welcome to Scooped, the ice cream review podcast where we try all the cone creations, signature slushes, and frozen foods on the East Coast to give you the ultimate scoop. I almost ran out of air on that one.
Yeah, I find that happening to myself more and more. Well, actually, I find myself happening that less and less as, we work on our lung capacity with the audiobook. I can talk for longer periods of time without running out of breath, is what I'm saying.
Anyway, my name is Holly Hagman, and with me is my co-host, husband, and ice cream connoisseur, and apparently lung capacity expert, Paul Percibali.
Yes.
Paul, what is a ghost's favorite ice cream topping?
Blueberry?
Oh, that would have been smart.
What was it?
Whipped cream.
All right. I think mine's pretty good, too.
Yeah, I think that those are both reasonable answers.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, in our last episode, we reviewed Pinkberry, which we placed at the B tier level, and for this episode, we are reviewing an independent shop with creepy creations, Ice Cream Monster.
Oh, so spooky.
So spooky indeed. So we have a lot to say about Ice Cream Monster.
Yes.
And we actually, were actually able to talk to the owner of Ice Cream Monster, which is...
I wish we got to do this in more places.
Yeah, which is a rarity for us, at least so far. We've only been able to talk to, like, two of the various episodes we've done.
And this is, like, one of them.
And this is one of them. And the other one, we talked to them after we already did the episode, so it wasn't like we could...
interview them.
Do anything with it, really.
Yeah, but this is, like, the first time we actually got to interview the people who... run the place. So that was pretty cool.
It was really cool. We got very lucky that he happened to be there.
Yeah, just eating his dinner.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we have, of course, the background info from the website, as per usual, and then we're going to supplement that a little bit with things we learned in our conversation with Chad of Ice Cream Monster.
Yes.
Who's such a nice guy.
Yes, so thanks again for speaking with us, Chad.
Yeah, we appreciate you. But... first and foremost, as per usual, beginning with background info from the website, Paul, tell us about Ice Cream Monster.
All right, so according to their website, it's not just ice cream. The Ice Cream Monster is a family-owned ice cream business that was born out of a passion for creating memorable experiences for our customers. Our story began in March 2020 when we started our first shop, Gourmet Italian Delights, and soon realized that ice cream was more than a product you sell. It's an experience. And he talked about that with us.
He did, yeah. Well, he mentioned that last night.
Friends and family come together to take memories and make memories and have a good time. Ice cream is a feel-good experience, so we wanted to make it more fun. We have a variety of high-quality and unique flavors of ice cream. You can stop in for a classic sundae or move and create a build a monster sundae, which we saw a couple of those and they were cute.
Mm-hmm.
As a family, we went to ice cream shops looking for something exciting and different, so we decided to put a twist on things to create a new ice cream experience. An Ice Cream Monster was born. We're not too scary, and it's not just dairy. We have a variety of options. Ice cream creations and more.
Yes.
Yes.
So... they have a really cool concept at Ice Cream Monster.
Yes.
Everything is monster themed.
Everything. And it's fantastic.
And we'll talk about it more when we get to like the atmosphere/location section of our, review. But just you walk in there and it's immediately a fun place to be.
Yes, it felt like, I don't know, like, no, I don't want to say it was like a Spencer's or a Hot Topic.
No,
it was like a Spirit of Halloween mixed with an ice cream parlor, and it was fun.
It was much fun.
I'm sure that you guys have gone to like a Spirit Halloween, not when you particularly want something, but it's there and you want to just look around and look at the sights, look at the stuff, and this filled me with that same sense of wonder. Like, what do they have in here?
It just brought me joy the minute we walked in. Actually, it brought me joy before we walked in because we were in the parking lot and we were walking up to it and they were playing some some Jennifer Lopez on the on the speakers.
Yes, they
and
were.
it was like fun party music going in, and I'm like, okay, this is the vibe. I love this. Can I have the mouse?
Ah, yes.
So
Here you
that
go.
we can continue looking at the notes.
Yes.
That would be good.
I mean, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, we could wing it, but why bother?
Exactly, especially since we have so many good notes.
Yeah, seriously.
But something really fun that they have, and we'll, it technically is one of the signature dishes, but I think it's just like fun to talk about here, is they have the ability to create your own delicious ice cream sundae and then post it on social media for a chance to be chosen as Ice Cream Monster of the Month.
Yes,
which is fun.
Yes, the place had a very friendly feel to it, with like the amount of with the amount of fun that you can have, with your ice cream. Except unlike Friendlies, you get to actually choose what's in it.
Yeah, you can build it yourself with the different accessories. So, if you win Ice Cream Monster of the Month, you receive a free hat, and they had a whole thing of merch, which was really cool, and one ability to build a free Monster Sundae in the future. And how this works is and we'll include a photo, the little mascot guy for the Monster Sundays is Dr. I Am Twisted, which I think is so cool also. So it's Dr. I Am Twisted's Build a Monster Sundae. So you pick the monster, which is picking a flavor and size.
Uh-huh.
Then you choose a monster modification, which includes a couple of different options. You can do a unicorn horn, which is a ice cream cone that looks like a unicorn horn.
Yep.
You could do different kind of other
chocolate jelly horns, cookie dough chunks, gummy body parts, pretzel horns, banana horns, gummy eyeballs, toasted marshmallow, brownie bits, and each extra modification costs an extra $2.
Right. So you get one included, you can add more, and then you accessorize it with different toppings, and they have all kinds of different topping options you can pick from, and then it's fun, and then you can post a picture of it on social media and see if you get picked as the winner, which is like a fun little thing to do. Now, for the background stuff we learned, talking to our new friend Chad.
Yes. And his daughter.
And his daughter.
Yeah, don't forget the daughter.
Yes, she was very helpful. Actually, she was the
one who
kind
introduced
of
us.
roped things in. We saw, as we were leaving, we were like, let's drop off one of our business cards with someone who works here, and she was like going behind the counter, and we were like, oh, by the way, we really enjoyed this. We do an ice cream podcast, and she was like, oh, well, my dad's right over there. He owns the place. Do you want him to come talk to you? And we were like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's always the answer when we get that opportunity. So he was really nice. And it was funny, too. Before that happened, while we were eating our ice cream, he walked in and sat down to eat his dinner, and I turned to Paul and I said, I think that guy owns this place. And Paul was like, why do you think that? And I said, because I follow their Instagram and he looks familiar.
And then I was thinking to myself, are you a stalker?
Apparently I am. Yeah, it's sad that I follow their Instagram so closely that I recognized his face from the internet. Like that. That's the actual truth, but
it's kind of creepy, but useful.
It was a little creepy. But we didn't want to interrupt his dinner, so that's why we, dropped it off with somebody. We're going to drop the business card off with somebody else, but then they were happy to talk to us anyway, so it worked out really well in our favor.
Yes.
So we got a little more backstory.
Than we usually do.
And a little more fun stuff. So, Paul, you want to tell us some of the backstory?
Let's see. So, let's see. How they started off was their ice cream is manufactured... Well, the ice cream itself is manufactured in Florida and delivered to them. They accidentally fell into the ice cream business when owner Chad met a distributor at a Super Bowl party and learned through, trying to do the business for a little while that ice cream is more of an experience than it really is just a business.
Yeah, he originally was going to just be an ice cream distributor because he found this ice cream in Florida that he really, really enjoyed. was like, oh, where can we get this in New Jersey or in New York? And the guy was like, it's only in Florida. And they were kind of in the works of just being able to distribute it in New Jersey. And then this whole concept of ice cream, is more of an experience than just a snack. If we create the concept, a fun one for, both adults and children, then we can probably make this work better. So
he did.
And he did. And funny enough that you mentioned Spirit Halloween earlier.
Yes.
Because
that's part of their
that's part of their origin. Chad told us he was walking through Spirit Halloween one day and was inspired by some of the decorations, and that's how he ended up with the idea of like adopting the monster theme for Ice Cream Monster. And so he got some decorations from Spirit Halloween, and then since then has obviously added.
Yeah, he's been collecting as he went
to it, and
I feel like a lot of that stuff has to be custom.
Oh, certainly. Look at the logo and all the little monster ice creams that are everywhere, and the sticker. He gave us free stickers also.
Yeah, that was nice.
Like, we made out last night when we did this.
That was like one of the nicest experiences we've had in terms of like going around and critiquing places.
Yeah, we had a wonderful time. So, but we also learned about the seedy underbelly of the ice cream industry. I don't know if that's what we call it.
I call it the turf wars.
Okay, but anywho, so ice cream, even though it is a lot of fun and wonderful, and we are, we're happy to still be part of this industry in some way, adjacently, however you want to call it.
Yes.
The ice cream industry is still
a business.
It's a business, right? It's still a little bit cutthroat. And Ice Cream Monster has been trying to franchise, right? Expand and franchise and get more locations. However, they've run into some legal hurdles, specifically from a company with a similar name, who shall remain nameless, but if you put two and two together, you can probably figure it out. So they're running into some issues, I guess, with the trademark and things like that.
Right, because they want to expand.
Mm-hmm. But Chad has a good lawyer and is determined, and just like, you could just tell by talking to him
that he loves his job.
Passionate this guy is about his job, and it was so nice to see. Like, and I'm gonna skip a line for a second here into the next part of the notes, but I feel like they were very similar to us as people.
Yeah, right? I got that feeling.
Because when the daughter was telling us, she was like, yeah, we've always been into ice cream. Anytime we went on vacation, we would try all the ice cream places nearby where we went.
And I was like, oh, that sounds familiar.
And I'm just going, that's how we started this podcast? What do you... Can we be friends? Like, this is kind of crazy. We even have a picture we took with him.
Yes.
That we will definitely be including.
Yeah. Yeah, and they sent it to us last night.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. And there, I think maybe we should leave it nameless, but there is a bit of a rivalry.
We're leaving that nameless.
Between Ice Cream Monster and another place that we have reviewed in the past that we rated pretty highly. Well, what? That doesn't narrow it down that much.
Either way, don't give them hints. We can leave it ambiguous.
Okay. Anyway, so there's a little bit of a rivalry between Ice Cream Monster and a place we've already reviewed, because Chad had asked us, what our favorite ice cream places were, and we showed him the tier list.
Yeah. Our 30 store long tier list at this point.
But yeah, so we had a little bit of a conversation about that, and ice cream, as fun as it is, it is still a business, right?
Yeah,
and
as I said, there's like turf wars going on apparently in the seedy underbelly of the New Jersey business district.
Indeed. And either way, I do hope, however it happens, I hope Ice Cream Monster is able to expand,
because it's probably the funnest place that we've been to so far.
It is so much fun. I felt just immediate joy and happiness walking in there. And then immediate joy and happiness from the other people in there.
Yeah, there were many people, and they were having fun.
There have been
families.
Yeah, no, I'm not even talking about customers. There have been so many places we've been to, and you walk in and it's like clearly, and I guess, right, it is still a job, so obviously some customers are difficult and things happen, right? But a lot of the places we've been to, the employees don't seem thrilled to be there.
You mean like crazies?
I wasn't going to say it, but...
Well, I mean, we said it in the last episode, didn't we?
Well, yeah, but anyway. So in other places, like crazies, people don't seem thrilled to be there, and that was not the vibe I got from these employees. They seemed very happy to be working in this place, and again, how do you walk in there and not have fun?
Yeah,
it seems impossible.
Yeah, that place was just fantastic. It's just like great atmosphere.
Yeah.
Great atmosphere, great aesthetic, and I'm a very aesthetically driven person.
Agreed. And also fun. We didn't happen to run into her, but a student who goes to my school works there.
Mm-hmm.
She is the one who recommended it, so we thank you for that.
I feel kind of bad that we went on a day that she wasn't even working anyway.
I know. I didn't ask, so
yeah,
just is what it is. But anywho, that is the background of Ice Cream Monster. We're clearly thrilled about it. We hope that you are just as thrilled to hear about their signature dishes.
Oh, there's so many, and there's so many varieties, and they're so fun. Yeah, like I said before, this place is like Friendly's, except spooky.
You think?
I mean, they had upside down cones that they were using for hats.
And is that what you equate to Friendly's?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're very artistic in their ice cream presentation, just like Friendly's. Friendly's is probably like the most silly fun place to have ice cream, I would say.
That's true. They do have a lot of whimsical, like, creature-y type things.
Yeah, they had the vampires, and then they had the aliens, and then they had the clown.
Right. Okay, fair enough. So I could see it for sure, but this place simply pretty much does monsters.
Yes, spoopies.
Yes, we love them. But let's talk about
the signature dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So, they have hard scooped ice cream. Lots of flavors. Lots and lots of flavors. They have regular, vegan, and no sugar added.
And Chad told us last night they're working on getting some nut-free stuff going on. It's difficult because you have to like have separate
manufacturers
and separate freezers and separate, I'm assuming, utensils too, obviously, because
right,
allergies are so bad.
Yeah, nut allergies are nothing to scoff at.
Right. So the point is very accommodating.
Yes, extremely accommodating.
The flavors are lots of options for all different dietary needs.
They also have sundaes, and as we talked about before, you can build your own monster sundae. They also have like different flavors, such as
different types of sundaes other than the monster sundaes. So they have like
classic, apple pie a la mode, banana split, blue cookie creature, peanut butter lovers, and s'mores.
So
yes,
lots of fun stuff. In addition, and if it wasn't enough that they have ice cream here, they also have coffee.
Yes.
So basically, I should just move in, I think. It's pretty much...
We'd run out of money too quickly, honey. We're trying to buy a house.
Yeah, I know. But in addition to having ice cream snackages and stuff, they have Slurps, a section of their menu with coffee and espresso drinks, as well as floats and shakes. So we have lots of different types of drinks. I think the brand that I saw on the board was like Killa Coffee. I'll look more into.
Killer Coffee?
No, it was spelled Killa.
Sure it was.
But anyway, so there's like they have different types of coffee beverages as well, and then they have an assortment of your traditional toppings. They have Oreos and gummy bears and all of that good stuff, but they also have the monster modifications, which are the ones that we talked about with the building your own monster sundae. So they got Oreo eyeballs, unicorn horns, gummy body parts, and things like that. So they have just like a ton of fun accessories,
Mhm.
plus some things that aren't even on this list because we saw them when we got there. The flavored cones.
Yeah, those cones, they were cool.
They were so cool. They had a ton. Hold on, I'll pull up the photo.
I zoned out for a second. Did you mention those fancy cones that they had? Those custom cones that they had in like the right side of the bar?
I'm confused. That's what I'm talking about now, isn't it?
Well, you were talking about the flavored ones. Like the matcha one, I'm assuming that you were talking about?
I'm talking about the flavored ones. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the ones that had like bones like on them.
Oh, the decorative ones.
Yeah, the decorative ones,
Okay.
the super fancy looking ones that looked
Okay.
like pieces of art.
No, didn't get there yet.
Yeah, there was one that was like,
Those are the unicorn horns.
well,
They're
was
the monstery ones.
I think one. Okay, they're all called unicorn cone hones.
Mhm.
Hones? Whatever.
Horns.
Yeah, but some of them were extra spoopy, not just like cute unicorn.
Yeah,
hones.
no, they have like little bloody looking drips on them, and some of them have eyes, and it's like really
One
cool.
had a bone.
Yeah.
That one stuck out to me.
But regarding the flavored cones, they have a boatload of different options. There was midnight vanilla, pink vanilla, matcha, red velvet, pumpkin, and brown sugar.
I tried the matcha one. It's pretty good. It wasn't the strongest matcha flavor, but I don't know. I think it might have been like overpowered by the flavor of the ice creams. You tried the cone though, and you could taste the matcha on
Just
it.
a little. It was subtle matcha though.
Yeah, it was subtle.
It wasn't like overpowering matcha, which is what I don't like about matcha a lot of the time.
It was definitely up there in my book on like the cones that we've had so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have boxes of them. I believe they get imported from a place called the Conery in Brooklyn, it says, individually packaged in Brooklyn, New York.
Imagine if the Conery was in Coney Island.
That'd be funny. And then, in addition to the flavors we mentioned, there are boxes you can take home that have toasted coconut cones, cinnamon, brown sugar. Like, it's just endless. The possibilities are endless here.
Yes, there are so many options to customize your frozen treat. All right, I'm good. I exploded for a second on the inside.
It's all good. It's all that ice cream we've been having.
Well,
just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to lay off the sugar.
I know.
But it was worth it yesterday.
So worth it.
Mm.
And just like, again, adding to the uniqueness, like we didn't try these, but they have pickle ice pops in their freezer.
They got a lot of pickle stuff.
Like take home treats. They have little puppets you can buy. They had mini monster things. They had a whole shelf of merch.
Didn't you?
Hats.
They also had the frozen, like, they also had like the refrigerator, the glass refrigerator with like, didn't they have some flying saucers and cakes in there too?
They might have. Yes, there was flying saucer looking things, ice cream cakes, and doggy treats. Doggy ice cream treats.
And the pickle thing on the bottom left.
Yeah, I already told them about the pickle thing.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they had a lot of stuff. Just even like that grab and go stuff.
Mm-hmm. Tons of options. Oh, I found the decorative waffle cones.
Which we'll include the picture of.
The gummy worms and the bones and bits and pieces on and stuff. Yeah, so this is all amazing, and we haven't even talked about the flavors we tried yet.
Yes.
So, that should tell you. That should give you a hint on how this might be rated. But, anywho, also just like, we love this little ice cream sundae guy.
Oh my god, he's so disturbing.
It looks like that dude from the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, we'll include
Slimer?
the
Is that his name?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never been I never really been a Ghostbusters kind of guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do when there's something strange in the neighborhood? Who do you call?
Run away?
Oh my god. Anyway, so I think that's enough on background for now. Let's talk about the flavors we tried, what we got, and how it was. So, who wants to go first? Do we want to do what do you want to do?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
I got 2 flavors in the matcha cone, and as I said, the matcha cone was pretty good. It was very subtle in terms of like the flavor. And who was the distributor again?
The Conery?
The Conery in New York, right? So I got the 2 flavors. The first flavor I tried was white chocolate raspberry. And oh my god, that was probably the best white chocolate raspberry I've had so far. I wholeheartedly believe that. Like, the only other one that, like, stuck out in my brain as being fairly good was the one from the Haagen-Dazs in the Menlo Park Mall.
Mm-hmm.
This one, way better. And they had little chocolate truffles filled with raspberry goo in the ice cream. Like, what the hell? Who thought of that, and how is that cost effective? But it was fantastic.
It was, like, such a nice little touch, too, because, like, obviously we have pictures of the ice cream and you can see that there's like raspberry swirl throughout, but then Paul was so excited because he's eating it and he got like a little bit of a crunch on it and he goes, "What is that?" And he pulls it out and looks at it. He's like, "Oh my god, it's a mini raspberry truffle." You were so excited. It was so cute.
Yeah, I've never saw anyone do that before. That was like such a cool thing.
It was really, really cool.
And then the raspberry itself was like very nice also. Yeah, definitely the best white chocolate raspberry I've had. And then my second flavor was apple pie. And dang, was that appley and pie-y. Because there were so many little cuts of actual apple. And it tasted just like you were eating like a very cold frozen apple pie, like out of the freezer.
That was a brilliant flavor to create. Because it's, apple pie and ice cream goes together so well.
Yeah.
And that was like eating that.
All in one.
Just in one bite. It was so good. Like I that wasn't even the flavor I ate, but I was still really impressed by it.
Yeah. And you enjoyed that the bite that you got.
I did. It was real, and it was like clearly real pieces of apple.
Yeah, they undoubtedly real pieces of apple. And
like you could taste like the like cinnamon pie flavor, like it was
so good.
So good.
That's probably one of the best apples I've had, like apple pie flavored ice creams that I've had. And I'm trying to remember like the other ones we've had. I think the place we went to in Connecticut when we went to the wedding, I think they had some apple.
Yes.
But they had more of the crumbs in it.
Right.
And this had more apple.
This had way more apple. This was like, and we've talked about in previous episodes, when you have a fruit flavored thing,
there better be some actual fruit in it. The actual
fruit in the thing is very important for us to
rate it highly.
And there was so much apple.
There was so much apple, and it was delicious. And it wasn't like they were filling it with apple so they didn't have to fill it with ice cream. No, it had the right amount of apples.
It was very well balanced.
It was very good, and I loved the ice cream. And there were just so many. Well, all right. Sorry, I was.
Did you short circuit there for a sec?
Yeah, well, I was yawning and short circuiting, but there's so many flavors that I want to go back and try, which we will love to do in the future.
Definitely, we have to go back because they were happy to give you samples to like taste things. I tasted something called Cereal Killer, but spelled CEREAL. I almost forgot how to spell cereal for a second. With like little, they were kind of, I think they might have been Rice Krispies in like a vanilla ice cream. It was pretty good.
That would make sense. That's like the ice cream. Oh, that's like the having the ice cream in the milk.
Yeah, it was very smart. It was clever. So I tasted that. I saw something called Pumpkin Oreo. I didn't try it, but I was like intrigued by it. Like there was like
something called the Blue Monster,
options.
I think.
Yeah.
I think something like that.
There were just so many options, and they were all fun.
And I want to go back and try them.
We have to return.
So how about you, though?
So I didn't get a cone yesterday because I didn't want to make a mess. Even though I probably wouldn't have with this place because they had the little saucer thing.
Yeah, which the place in Mattawan should definitely like think about getting. It was so nice. They had like these cone coasters. Yeah. I don't know exactly what to call them, but if we didn't eat fast enough, then the ice cream started to melt. Ralph's needs these.
Yes, any place that we have dinged for their ice cream melting way, way, way too fast could use these things. But I gotta tell you, Ice Cream Monster didn't even need it, and they had it. So
yeah.
That was, like, fantastic. But
and we're, of course, going to... we probably already included the pictures of it, and like, when we were going over my ice cream.
Definitely. However... That was really cool. So, in addition, I didn't want to make a mess, and I didn't know about the cone saucer, so I got a cup with sea salt caramel pretzel as 2 scoops. Sea salt caramel pretzel and dark fudge brownie, which seems to be like what I'm leaning towards at these places lately. I seem to go with a salty option as well as a chocolatey option.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, it's working for me because sea salt caramel pretzel was really, really good. It was like very creamy ice cream. It had like the vanilla caramel flavor that you really want, and then it was, had a bunch of chocolate covered pretzels in there.
Yeah, it was quite crunchy.
I could have stood for a little more chocolate covered pretzels just because I love chocolate covered pretzels. But at the end, I got like a pocket of them, and I was like in my glory because it was fantastic.
Yes.
But the ice cream by itself, even in the bites that didn't have the pretzel, was like really like smooth and creamy and sweet and just like all good things. And then it balanced super well with the dark fudge brownie because
chocolate on chocolate.
We all know I'm a sucker for chocolate on chocolate.
Chocolate?
At this point.
Chocolate? Chocolate! Okay, go ahead.
They're selling. Anyway. Yeah, SpongeBob quotes are another big part of this podcast. Anyway. Are they? Have we referenced SpongeBob yet?
I'm pretty sure we have.
Somewhere.
We had to have.
Somewhere.
I'm pretty sure I've thrown SpongeBob memes into videos before.
Okay, good. So that's reassuring. But anywho, dark fudge brownie, really chocolatey, really rich, had nice little chunks of brownie pieces in it for a good texture. All in all, wonderfully done, and again, well balanced with the sea salt caramel pretzel that I had in in my other flavor.
Yes.
So I have no other notes. It's just it was very, very good. I want more of it.
Yes, we will definitely be going back at some point.
I plan on it. And also, like, it should be said that in addition to the atmosphere of, like, just looking around and having, seeing the lights and the monster logos and the merch and the stuffed animals and everything, right? They had, like, nice little tables you could sit at.
Yeah.
Inside and outside.
Mm-hmm. And I pointed out that one logo that looked a little out of place, and it turns out it's a tea bar or something. What'd he say it was? It was like a tea cafe.
Oh, yeah. They're working on a tea cafe in future.
Yes.
And there was another logo in the store for it that they're like concept art, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I wish we like remembered, like, did you take a picture of it? No, but Chad was saying that he's starting up like a tea cafe that is like has a what do you say, Austin Powers groovy kind of.
Yeah, groovy 70s kind of feel, and it's gonna have like music from that time period, and it's gonna be really cool. Either way, I don't know when that's happening,
but we'll go.
We will look into it, surely, and we will go when it comes out.
Hopefully they have some ice cream around and we can use that as an excuse to like give it a small review or something.
And even if they don't, we're still gonna go and support our new friend Chad because he was a fantastic person and deserves all the support in the world.
Right.
So, but now, I guess, do we have any other stories? Like, do we need to...
I'm running through it in my brain right now. I'm pretty...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was...
Right.
Yeah.
You'd think we'd have a rhythm by this point in our episodes.
Yes.
I just think it's funny that so we talked about in the past how it's difficult to change the schedule. One of the times I had to change the schedule, I had to move something else in where Ice Cream Monster was supposed to be. And then it got pushed, and that's why it's in episode 32. I am so upset that we waited so long to come here. 32 weeks of this, and it took this long to get there. I'm like, ugh.
That's so disappointing.
It's very disappointing.
But we might have not run into Chad if we did.
I guess that's true. We got lucky that he was there when we went.
Yeah.
So.
I guess it worked out in the end.
It did. It did indeed. What were you going to say?
No, that was it. I was just going to say that I can't think of anything.
Oh.
So that worked out.
All right, then. So I guess the moment you've all been waiting for, let's pull up the tier list and figure out where we're going to put this thing. Because, obviously, it's something we really enjoyed.
No. Yeah, there we go. So, I think that it has to be on the S tier somewhere. Like, I'm thinking that at the very least.
Oh, of course. No,
so it's just a matter of where.
Okay. So, first of all, review the tier list.
Okay.
For our audio listeners that don't have the image in front of them.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So for the S tier, we have Allstead Farm, Frozen Flavors, Milkcraft, Surreal Creamery, Ryan's Homemade Ice Cream, Mystic Drawbridge, Friendlies, and The Baked Bear.
For the A tier, we have Nicholas Creamery, Gabriel's Fountain, Strollo's Lighthouse, Sweet Ice Creamery, Sunday Afternoon, Sundays, Carvel, Coney Waffle, Smoothie King, and Frozen Yo Cafe.
In the B tier, we have Ralph's, Baskin Robbins, Pinkberry, Haagen-Dazs, and Jersey Freeze.
In the C tier, we have Rita's, Crazy's, Cold Stone, Shake Shack.
I'm good.
Dairy Queen, and Sonic.
In the D tier, we have Magnificos and Mini Melts. Yes, don't mind my falling phone.
Just shake the entire mic stand. It's fine.
Yeah, those waveforms were going crazy there for a second.
So, all right.
So, as we decided, it's going on S tier somewhere. I think, all right, as a start off point, I think that they are better than Friendlies because they do what Friendlies does, but better. Like, they have the fun, different ice cream designs. So, at the very least, I think that we need to put them above Friendlies.
All right. So, I can live with that.
So, then it's just...
So, it's a matter of how far above Friendlies.
Yeah, how high on the tier list. Personally, the flavors were so good. I loved it. And, I would probably put it over Mystic Drawbridge. Reason being that we're also taking into account the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I loved the atmosphere of this place more than I did Mystic Drawbridge, and I think the ice cream was just as good.
Agreed. And I like the atmosphere of Mystic Drawbridge, but the problem with Mystic Drawbridge is there's like nowhere to hang out.
Yeah.
There's some tables in Mystic Drawbridge,
but you're never going to get them.
It's so crowded. It's so crowded all the time, always. So
yeah.
You're rarely going to get to sit. And the nice part about Ice Cream Monster is there were a lot of seating options.
Mm-hmm.
And then in addition to like the indoor tables, there were a couple outdoor ones for when the weather's nice.
Yeah. So now we're up to Ryan's.
This is where it gets hard for me.
Because you really like the peach?
I really like the peach. I really liked Ryan's soft serve. Chocolate was really good. They have Kit Kats as an option. That's something I don't see a lot.
I really liked Ryan's black cherry ice cream. But I don't know. I think that the Ice Cream Monster also just had like interesting flavors, like interesting and creative flavors.
They do.
And they do a really good job of stacking their ice cream with stuff. Like you got plenty of peaches in your peach when you went to Ryan's, and I got plenty of black cherries when I had black cherry at Ryan's. But this place had plenty of apples in their apple, and they had plenty of raspberries in their swirl. So personally, I would say that at the very least, they have comparable ice cream to Ryan's. But then again, the aesthetic and the creativity of the store.
It edges them out.
It edges them out a little bit. It edges
them out because as much as I enjoyed Ryan's, there's not a whole lot going on at the Ryan's.
No, in terms of like storefront, it's very it's very basic in terms of like an ice cream parlor.
Yeah, Ryan's is a pick it up and take it home kind of ice cream, where I feel like Ice Cream Monster is a
Experience.
That's the whole thing, right? They created the experience that they wanted to create. Okay.
So then it's a matter of how does Surreal Creamery compare to it? And I was the one who liked Surreal Creamery more than you.
That's true. So where do you stand? I'm interested.
Well, I didn't think that the aesthetic of Surreal Creamery was anything special.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of basic. I like bobas and I like matcha. And I feel like
Surreal Creamery was catered to your tastes.
Surreal Creamery was catered to my taste, but it wasn't catered to yours.
Not necessarily.
Would you go?
And that's the thing, that's the other thing, right? Ice Cream Monster has things for everyone.
Oh, it has it for everyone. And that very specific thing just blew my mind with Surreal Creamery.
What I got a radical idea.
Yeah.
What if we put Ice Cream Monster second?
You want to put it second?
It's either second
or third.
Or yes, second or third.
The
It's either I can't decide.
I already thought of this problem. The problem is Frozen Flavors has the best Italian ice. And Ice Cream Monster has like my favorite aesthetic in a store, and it has like some of the best soft hard ice cream that I've had at any store.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the issue. Frozen Flavors has the best Italian ice, and Ice Cream Monster has some of the best hard ice cream.
Here's another for instance.
But then also Ice Cream Monster has the best aesthetic out of all of them.
I got another question actually, because now I'm really looking at it. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed my ice cream at Allstead Farms.
What are you doing, honey? You're going crazy here.
I'm thinking. You know what? No, I'm sorry. The peach ice cream at Allstead Farms is still really like my favorite.
That was the most mind-blowing ice cream I've ever had in my life.
This is a close second. You know what? I really feel like it has to be second.
You really you're going to put it over Frozen Flavors?
Oh, I don't know, because I really like it's a toughie.
It's the problem. The problem is they're both equal in my brain.
Yeah.
Frozen Flavors has the best Italian ice, and Ice Cream Monster has the best hard ice cream.
All right, so then I think it's fair to say that with flavor, aesthetic, and taste, and price, we have to consider that. We forgot about the price, but it wasn't too expensive, right? It was $15 something?
If it was like $15.99 or something.
Yeah. So that's definitely cheaper than Milkcraft, so it's above Milkcraft for sure.
Everything's cheaper than Milkcraft, honey.
I think it's a little more pricey than Frozen, technically, for what we usually order at Frozen.
Frozen Flavors is like, it has a really good price and the Italian ice. And then Monster has best hard ice cream and best aesthetic.
Yeah.
So it's like they're so evenly matched.
Very even. So you know what? I think number 3 on the overall has to be Ice Cream Monster.
Because aesthetic is not flavor?
Well, because aesthetic and just like in my head they're evenly matched, but because even though Ice Cream Monster is very reasonably priced, it's a smidge more than Frozen.
And that's just the thing that
that's the only thing that edged it.
Yeah.
They're equal. They're equal.
Yeah, they're equal.
They're both second.
They're both second in my mind.
But in terms of...
we have to choose one because the tier list, we can't... Unless we like photoshopped a picture and then we used half of one and half the... Yeah, but we can't do that. But I think that it deserves to be like third. Yeah, I would say that it's third.
I think that that's fair.
It's definitely my favorite place that I've been to as a location.
Yeah, and I mean... We were just like incredibly lucky to be able to talk with them and hear directly from the source about their story, and that was a one of a kind experience, I think.
Yeah. The only other time we got to like talk to anyone was with frozen flavors after we already reviewed them.
Yeah, we told them already. We were like, we really like your place. We reviewed you already. And they were like, oh, well, thanks. And that was, that they talked to us too, and that was nice. But
And then we also
we got to use this for the podcast, which was cool.
Yeah, the only other place that we have a real set idea of the inner workings of the business would be Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, well, because we went on the tour.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that. Actually, that's coming up pretty soon. That's, I think, slated for episode 35.
Oh, okay.
So it's coming, but we'll talk about that more in the future. But for now, it is time once again for us to wind down on episode 32 of Scooped Podcast. How do you feel?
I feel like, you were saying that something like how Morticia would say it. Very in line with the spooky atmosphere of the business.
Okay, well, that was a happy accident.
I'm sorry, I was so taken in by your delivery. What was your question again, honey?
I said, how do you feel now that we've done 32 episodes of this?
I don't know, but I like 32. It's a good number.
It is a good number. Divisible by 4. And, yeah.
2.
It was actually my jersey number when I was on the basketball team in middle school.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Fun fact about the number 32.
And hopefully 250 will be a new lucky number for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still going to hope.
All right, my friends. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and listening to Scooped Podcast. If you haven't already done so, follow us on Instagram and YouTube and Spotify and Facebook. All of the social media things. Make sure to tell a friend. Let everybody know where to go for their frozen favorites, aka to Scooped Podcast.
Yes.
And be sure, if you are able and feel like buying us an ice cream cone, you can donate to our Ko-fi account so that we can continue to do this. But as usual, the best way to support us is by tuning in, and make sure to do so next week when we review a gourmet Italian ice chain that claims to be the best in the U.S. And we're actually going to review them this time because they're not closed for the season. They're open now, and we're going to actually get to talk about them.
Yes. Let's see if it lives up to their claims.
We shall see. All right. Thanks for listening.
And remember the Ko-fi.
I said that already.
Never mind then. Like, comment, and subscribe, people. Bye.
Bye.